Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over some Spider-Man animated series figures, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and SMYTHE from Marvel Legends. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Now let's get to it. Peter Parker's head sculpt looks really nice here, actually. I love the smirk over there, and his eyes look nice as well. The hair looks wonderful, swooping gracefully around his skull. It's wonderful and looks awesome over here. The ears look nice as well, as do the eyebrows, and there is a little smudging above his eye, but whatever. This is a great head sculpt. And you can get a swivel over here, as well as up and down pretty okay with some nice pivot for this good Peter Parker head sculpt. The body is the outfit he wears in the show, the jacket that isn't buttoned up, as well as that red shirt on the inside. He also is wearing a watch. Pretty cool. I like how simple it looks. I love the texturing of the shirt on the inside. It's kind of shiny too, as well as the texturing on this, but this isn't really that great. It's kind of the same as the skin tone. Kind of weird. I do appreciate those ruffles for the sleeves. At least they look nice, and the watch is wonderful also with a printed on face. And he also comes with cup hands for accessories, and I do love how the belt is painted as well. And for articulation, we get a swivel for the waist, as well as a crunch forward and crunch back, kind of hindered by the jacket. His arm does go up pretty far, as well as down and all the way around, with a swivel for the bicep, as well as a swivel for the elbow, and then up on the elbow this far, and down with an up and down hinge over here at least, and a side to side hinge over here at least. Very hard to see because of that watch, which can move around a little bit too. The legs are pretty simple. They're jeans. They're fine. They work out pretty well, and these shoes are kicking. I love how they look. Very nicely done with the paint on that. And he can go out really far and in really far, up pretty nicely and back pretty okay. Double hinged knees that are pinless with a swivel over here and a swivel down there, as well as a pivot going down and up and rocker with two pagos upon the feet and all the legalese you ever need. He comes with a camera for his Peter Parker photography. Looks wonderful with a purple lens over here and a yellow flash with some nice silver and black around it. And it's even painted nicely on the back and sides. It looks nice from pretty much all angles. And he also comes with some rock-on hands for concerts and stuff. They can swivel and hinge very nicely, both of them. They're really cool, not for no other reason. Peter Parker stands at about 6¼ inches taller, so. Here's Peter Parker next to the retro Peter Parker and the Renew Your Vows Peter Parker. They do look nice together, actually, and all pretty much in scale, honestly. This head sculpt for Spider-Man is pretty chunky. I do love how big the eyes are, and the web lining is alright. There are a couple mishaps in the back I tried to scratch out, but it works out pretty well, honestly. And you do get back and then forth and then side to side, as well as a pivot for this nice Spider-Man head sculpt. I like it a lot. Probably one of my favorite bodies for Spider-Man, not gonna lie. I really love it. The hole in the back is a little bit of an oversight, but the color blue and red just are it for me. The shoulders do kind of come in a little bit and don't really match this and kind of make this look really weird. These were bigger, now we're talking, but it's probably 90-80% great. And you get a swivel over here, as well as a crunch back, crunch forward over there with an up pretty far and a down pretty far and all the way around with a butterfly joint that goes really far over here. As well as a swivel for the bicep over here, a double jointed pinless tech elbow over there with a swivel and then a hinge for the fist, and same on the other side too. It's mirrored. Legs are the same as every other Spider-Man, but this blue really hits. I love it so much. Maybe give the feet a overdue with those new hinges, and now we're talking. And you do get out pretty far and in and up pretty far and back pretty far and all the way back. It's really nice. And then you get down and swivel up here, swivel down there, down and up, and a pivot with two bagels at the bottom of the feet. Yeah! Spidey comes with grip hands that you can swivel and then hinge pretty well for both sides. It works really nicely, and they're really good hands. I love them. He also comes with two holding hands. You can swivel and then hinge and then swivel and then hinge, but they do look small on this body, honestly, to me. He comes with a Peter Parker head and yellowish skin tone and a little lighter hair, and it's not my cup of tea. I like the other skin tone much better. Bring that back. Other than that, pretty much the same, although this is drooping down a bit. Could be put up, I guess. I'm not a big fan of this head sculpt, honestly. Sorry. You get a swivel over here and then a hinge back and forth. The Flash Thompson head sculpt looks huge on this body. I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of this. The hair looks really nice, and they've been really killing it with the hair for these Spider-Man figures. The lips look way too big, the eyes are way too puny, and those weird sort of like curled up brows, what are they? The ears are at least good too, though. And you get a back and then a forward and then a swivel over here, as well as a a pivot. It's kind of hard to move, and it's not my favorite. He looks jaundiced, honestly, pretty yellow. And here's that Peter Parker head sculpt on the animated body, and he looks jaundiced. He needs to seek some help, or he looks sick or something. This just really weirds me out. Putting the Peter Parker head from the Spider-Man figure, again, awful decision. You can also put the Flash head sculpt on the Peter Parker body. It looks really weird and not too great. Putting the Flash head on the previous retro Peter Parker body, it looks okay, I guess. I've been using this Captain America head sculpt for it, and this one is, needs some work. And putting the retro Peter Parker head on this body, no. Putting the animated Peter Parker head from the Peter Parker figure, though, with the camera, it looks really nice on this, actually. I like how this looks a lot. Putting the previous Peter Parker head sculpt on this is much better. The skin tone looks so much nicer. I'm not sure why they changed it, but yeah, it looks great for this one. And he also does come with a flat mask that is kind of his unmasked kind of thing. It looks really nice. The paint is pretty okay on it, and it's just a good piece for him to have. It's great. Animated series Spider-Man stands at about 6 1/4 inches taller, so. Here he is next to the Ultimate Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, and Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. I really like this one. It's probably one of my favorites. This one as well, and these two might take a back seat to this one. I might even give a lot of parts from Renew Your Vows over to the animated one. And here's Peter Parker and Spider-Man next to my Peter Parker kitbash over here, as well as my Flash Thompson kitbash. I think these two look pretty serviceable. And all these figures look nicely in scale. There is a bit of a creep, though, between here and here, though. But something smells fishy right after this. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and hit the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. I'm not too familiar with SMYTHE, even from like comics and cartoons and stuff. He just doesn't really ring a bell to me, this guy. He looks kind of boring, honestly, in a way. The face sculpt isn't really anything special. It's just his face. It's nothing really great, no expression, just very muted. I like the gold eyes, though. Nice touch. The eyebrows are swooping pretty well. The lips are very muted. It's a very kind of like, look at him and he's scary, not what he does is scary kind of guy. The mullet's really funny, though. Pure 90s and kind of grungy 80s maybe. It's just really weird. Too flat of a top and too party on the back. And you get a down and then a up with a swivel kind of. The mullet really gets in the way on that one with a pivot over here, and it's just fine, I guess. The two shoulder spike things are just annoying and kind of boring. They get in the way of the head sculpt and can't really move at all. They're kind of rubbery-ish, but yeah, they might break. It's dumb. The body's honestly pretty boring. I'm not a big fan of how this looks. It's just guy body. That's basically it. His arms do add some fins to the forearms. They look really nice, actually. Probably one of the better parts of this figure. The back is kind of boring as well. Yawn. He does get back and then forward and then swivel over here as well. You get up pretty far and then down pretty far and all the way around. Really crunchy on that joint over there with a swivel over here, as well as a double joint pinless tack elbow over there, and you get a swivel and then a hinge up and a hinge down for the wrist. The other side's pretty much the same. It's boring and mirrored, and I think less paint. Yeah, it's not really that great. The legs are actually pretty cool here. I do love those talon toes, and we get some really nice blue on these fins over here. It's wonderful. The texturing makes it look kind of bluish gray. I love how that looks, and going a little deeper, these talons are amazing for those toes. They're wonderful. It just looks really nice. The texturing is great too on the fins, talons, feet, everything. You get out pretty far and then in pretty far, up nicely, back is okay. You get up pretty good with this. Fins don't get in the way at all, and down over here with a swivel over here and no swivel down here. Sadly, you get it down though and an up though, and then a pivot over here and two pegos above the feet, and there are kind of like ups for his heels. It's pretty neat. I wish he came with claw hands, but he comes with these human-y hands that are really stupid. One's in an outstretched position and the other is kind of like, I don't know what this is. It's just boring. And you do get a swivel over here as well, and then an up and a down for that. These are getting in my way a lot. Swivel over here, up and down, yawn. SMYTHE stands at about 6 1/4 inches taller, so. Here is SMYTHE next to my kitbash Vulture animated series version, at least, or comic book version, I'm not sure what I want to call it, as well as the animated series Green Goblin that I really don't like, with the gummy joints and the stupidity everywhere, and this one also is pretty stupid, but more boring than just outright bad. Here he is next to the retro animated series Spider-Man, and the animated series Spider-Man that came up with Vulture, and yeah, this one's much better. This one really sucks, and this guy's boring. Scaling is much better between these two also. Here he is also next to his boss, I think, the Build-A-Figure Kingpin as well as the retro carded Kingpin, and no matter which one is here, they will both yell at him, SMYTHE! Here's Smythe next to two Peter Parkers, my kitbash, as well as the animated version, and they look pretty much in scale. This one's a way better figure, though. And here they are all together, Peter Parker, Smythe, and Spider-Man. Yeah, tell me these guys aren't different people. They're in the same room. See? I was oh, wait a minute. Overall, fishy business. The animated series Peter Parker is one of the better Peter Parker figures. I love the accessories. The body sculpt is wonderful. The color blocking is really nice, and that head sculpt is wonderful. The accessories are good too. The camera is nice, but I would have loved to see some wall-crawling hands instead of thwip hands. The Spider-Man figure is awesome, knocks it out of the park. However, it could be improved a little bit by adding those new feet with the hinges, as well as some more hands. Where are the wall-crawling hands, Hasbro? The Flash head sculpt and also the Peter Parker head sculpts are steps down for me. The skin tone is way too yellow for me to take it seriously. I do like the unmasked head, though. That's pretty awesome. Smythe is a really boring figure. I do like the fins on him, as well as the claws in his feet, but not those claws in his shoulders. They're really obtrusive and get in the way of articulation. The mullet's also terrible, and he has a really boring expression with some really boring accessories, and honestly, I couldn't recommend him. If you're a fan of Marvel Legends, Spider-Man, or his animated series, then you'll love these figures. They're pretty good. But I would highly recommend getting Spider-Man and Peter Parker. They're some of the best of their characters in the Marvel Legends line. But make no mistake, the only fishy thing in this review is how boring Smythe is. So which figure here is your favorite? Peter Parker, Spider-Man, or Smythe? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com for more reviews like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned.